Neighborhood Ventures continues to expand investing in commercial real estate by adding a first retail property to the portfolio. This multi-tenant adaptive reuse project is in prime location to be repositioned while generating a 12% annual return for investors. And see how one evolving Arizona city is creating great opportunity for financial gain, this time on Inside Look.
Finally, a chance for a passive investor to capitalize on Arizona real estate. Jameson, Wall Street experience to structure the finances. Rocky, designs renovations that completely transform. John, an Arizona power broker identifying properties that maximize investor returns. Neighborhood Ventures, welcome to the team. So I have to say, things at Neighborhood Ventures are going so well.
We've funded successfully 3 new projects. We've raised over $1 million in the first 24 hours on 2 of them.
The plant a fruit tree and eventually the fruit is ready for harvest. And we've been there. We've sold 3 properties in the last few months.
Each of those projects returned a 12% preferred annual return for all of our investors, which is really exciting.
Which leads to more investor confidence and ultimately more flexibility for us in finding new deals.
So we've been seeing some opportunities in the retail space over the past several months, partly due to COVID. And for us now, it's an opportunity to come in and buy some buildings where the seller is ready to move on from those properties, but where we see an opportunity to turn a current property into a higher performing asset. And now as we turn the page to the next chapter of Neighborhood Ventures, we're excited to bring in a new asset to our team.
Hi, I'm Chris Lacoste. I'm the new guy around the office. I joined recently as the Vice President of Acquisitions, focused on finding more projects for our investors in the communities they live in.
He understands multifamily, but he understands retail a whole lot more.
I've always been in commercial real estate. Commercial real estate's what brought me down here in the first place, working for a larger institution in Canada and focusing on acquisitions and growing their portfolio.
He was telling me about his family and how he's from Canada, how he loves to play hockey, and he just is really a well-rounded guy that's very good at what he does.
When you're born in Canada, you're basically born on skates, so hockey's always been something that I've been involved in. My dreams of the NHL went away many, many years ago. We say we win, we lose, we booze. That's the rule. It's always more of a social thing and a little bit of exercise. I have 2 little troublemaker boys. I'm anxiously awaiting to get them on skates, but not yet, unfortunately.
Chris sees the value in retail and understands what can be done with the project, what the new tenants can look like, how you can reframe the project, and we're happy to have him. He's brilliant, he knows what he's doing.
All right, here we are at Venture on Broadway. This is our latest project, and this one looks a little bit different than what we're used to, John and Rocky. So we brought along our new friend and colleague, Chris, to help us with this.
Thank you. So it's an exciting multi-tenant retail property.
Venture on Broadway is a retail multi-tenant site right in the heart of Tempe on Broadway Road in between Mill and Rural. It's a 1.1 acre site with 3 freestanding buildings totaling 8,150 square feet. It was originally built in 1978 and is a prime candidate for some redevelopment. During our due diligence, we were able to get Burger Rush to renew a new 10-year lease on their space. And we're also really excited that we were able to get Dunkin' Donuts as an anchor tenant for the 764 building on a new 10-year lease as well.
It is so encouraging to drive around and see how advanced and developed Tempe is now becoming. It's always been a really fun, vibrant city, but now it is way more developed. It is so intentional. You see cranes everywhere.
One of the key metrics that retailers and restaurants look for when they're looking for a potential location is the daytime employment numbers. So that drives their morning and lunch traffic. And this particular area of Tempe is incredibly dense with nearly 500,000 daytime employees within a 5-mile radius of this property. That's a huge selling feature for this property and one of the main reasons that we're able to secure such a strong anchor tenant in Dunkin' Donuts, and is really going to help us leasing up the remainder of this project.
That's going to do really well here at the property, especially with everything going on across the street.
There's a really great 324 unit luxury apartment project that's under construction. It's really going to transform this project and this whole trade area.
Why don't we see it?
Sounds good.
This first building, right around 4,200 square feet, we are going to be leasing 1,600 square feet to Dunkin' Donuts on the end cap and leasing up the remaining 2,500 square feet to a new tenant.
What was this before?
This was a smoke shop. So I think this was actually a humidor at one point. So I think they might have some cedar in here.
What's a humidor?
It's where you keep your cigars humid
Oh.
to keep them from drying out.
Okay.
Come on, Jameson, I know you're a baller.
So all these things come out. That stuff, that's just a wall that goes from floor to ceiling. It can be taken out, it's not supporting. What Chris is talking about, gray shell, is you take it to the point where you have all the stuff out, ceilings open, and the tenant we have coming in, Dunkin', will create the space they want, the kitchen they want, all the things they want.
This second building we're going into is really unique in that it's a smaller building, right around 1,300 square feet, but it's freestanding and has great exposure along Broadway.
So this was a mattress shop?
That's right, yeah, it's been a mattress shop. It's a great little box that's easily adapted to another use. It's got the exposure like John mentioned, that's what tenants are looking for.
Yeah, great
There's
windows.
over 40,000 vehicles a day coming along Broadway, which is huge.
And it's got plenty of parking, so things that are important. Plenty of parking, great exposure, good access. You got several, 1, 2, 3, 4 different driveways through here into the property.
I'm getting hungry, of course, so you guys ready to go to the fourth tenant and have some lunch?
I've been smelling the mesquite in the parking lot. It's making me very hungry.
The third building is a freestanding drive-through property that has Burger Rush, a fantastic burger joint that's been on site for about 8 years. Very busy, very stable and growing clientele base.
Walking in, my first impression is how clean it is, and then also how unique and darling it is.
All right, this is looking good. So I got the bacon avocado burger. I know you got the barbecue burger.
So here at Neighborhood Ventures, one of the most exciting things about what we do is that we allow everyday people to invest in commercial real estate, which up to this point really hasn't been possible. You have to be accredited, you have to be part of a syndicate, that kind of thing. And to be able to move into another facet of commercial real estate in the retail sector is really exciting.
I feel like you guys are the ones that are doing crowdfunding right, appealing to investors that can get involved. I've historically been working with ultra high net worth investors and haven't been able to share those projects with friends and family. And having an opportunity like this where there's a lower minimum investment and it's truly community based is really exciting. No one else is doing that, and no one's doing it in retail.
So we were really excited that you reached out and that you had the same level of passion around crowdfunding that we do. And we just needed to find our first deal, right?
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it happened quickly.
We've already submitted to the city our site plan for approval. We anticipate a total of 6 months of time to get all the required city approvals for construction. We anticipate a 4-month construction time frame after that. During that time, we're also going to be focused on leasing up the remaining 2 vacancies. And after that, we anticipate full stabilization with all rents commenced and the eventual sale of the property right after 24 months.
So Venture on Broadway is currently generating $12.75 per square foot among the 4 tenants. That equals $104,000 per year in total revenue. With our renovation, and after we brought in new tenants, we believe the property will generate $30.50 per square foot, or $250,000 a year. This reposition of this asset will generate about another $150,000 per year in revenue. We always like to go to a restaurant in the neighborhood where we're doing our project. This is the first time we're actually eating at a tenant at our project, so it's pretty unique. So I think it's going to be fun to come back and keep monitoring, make sure the food quality stays high.
I think I'll be responsible for that. Make sure that it stays at a really high level.
It's an important part of due diligence.
You better eat that burger, it's probably getting cold.
I know,
What's happening?
Well, sometimes I get hassled if I do eat it. I get hassled if I don't eat it.
I'm done.
If you like what you've seen and you want more, we actually have a podcast. It's called Kiss My Assets. It's a little bit more casual, a little bit more in depth, and we would love to have you join along. It's Kiss My Assets, basically on any podcast platform that you use.